Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. If you are new here, my name is Phoebe Hagan. I am Phoebe Bikini Pro from the UK, and this video we're going to be discussing the New York Pro in 2023 that has literally just happened. And wow, like, I have always been such a fan of the prestigious Pittsburgh Pro and the New York Pro, and this one was next level. Like, it was really good, and we're gonna kind of dive into kind of what I think within the results happening, all that sort of thing. It literally happened yesterday, and massive congratulations to Amy. She won the New York Pro. She also won the Pittsburgh Pro previously to that, and she then also won the Wasatch show, I think it was, the like 2 weeks maybe, or 3 weeks before that. So she's been on a winning streak. She's, like, in my opinion, one of the ones to watch out for the Olympia, which is obviously really excited because I love Amy, and she's a personal good friend of mine, and she's really worked her way into the ranks, and it's very exciting to see that. So, but this show in general was very interesting, just from the top four alone, and I'll put up on the screen for you now to give you a little bit of a spoiler alert. But the top four, identical. They all looked, not body-wise, identical look-wise, which was quite funny. Obviously, all dark hair, all in red, and everyone's been kind of saying, do you think red's gonna be the thing? Even the week before, it was Ashley and Amy next to each other, dark hair and red again. So is red like the new color? I'll give you my opinions kind of later on, I guess, but let's get into the video. Okay, so firstly, I want to apologize and say I'm sorry about the quality of the screen recording that I've done isn't actually showing the quality of the live stream, because the live stream was actually very good. It was probably one of the best live streams I've seen in this recent year, and I do feel like we need to see more of that, and like the live pay-per-views and all that sort of thing, because us as viewers, like, it's always great to, like, you know, really appreciate what we can actually see on stage. Obviously, I know you're not always gonna replicate it 100%. Like, I always say to people, like, what people look like in videos, photos can sometimes never account to what they look like on stage. Always remember that. But this live stream, like, you could see every striation, every vein, everything. It really made me feel like I was there. So I do feel like it makes it more worth buying the live stream, if that makes sense, when it's really good. I also apologize as well because there is no sound. So you're gonna just have to listen to my lovely voice the entire time. So this is a numerical call out. So every show, NPC, whether it's amateur, pro, anything like that, always does kind of a numerical call out depending on how many girls are in the class. So you've got Amy in the middle over here, right there. You've got Ivana from the left of her. Then you've got Valeria, I want to say, she's from Ukraine. And you've got Ellie, which are kind of, they're all four of them are Olympians. And then you've got Shanae as well. She's also a Olympian as well. So the first kind of, you know, got a lot of girls that have come out, the first numerical call-outs are all Olympians, which is, you can see the quality of the show, the standard of the show is ridiculously high, which is great. So this is your second numerical call-out. So you've got Raywana, I want to say this, Raywana, in the middle there, right in the beginning. And then I'm not too sure on the other ladies' names. I think Raywana is the only one that has been a previous Olympian. I don't think she did the Olympia last year, and I think she's massively improved this time. I think she's always been a little bit smaller, but you can see her muscle mass, her conditioning pops like so well this time, especially that glute pop. Raywana is the one in the middle. Her glute pop, her shape has really come out like massively, which is really good to see. So I'm really excited for her this year. Also, I've seen so many red this year, which we will talk about more later, because I think it's very interesting to see how many ladies have changed up their kind of suit colors in a way, because I feel like it was very much like a purple, blue tones kind of era we were in. Now I think a lot more people are kind of, you know, going a little bit more out there and kind of doing something a little bit different. Obviously still keeping very content with the colors, because you don't need loads of over-the-top colors or over-the-top bikinis. You want to try and make sure that it's not distracting to your actual shape, like, at all. Like, your shape needs to be the thing that is standing out, you know? And then I think this is the final call out, so the third call out of the numericals. We've got Alice on the right hand side, in the red and blonde hair, curly hair. I always love seeing people with curly hair. Like, it always makes me so happy when I see like curly hair. And then we have Yummy in the middle, and she looks great actually. She's very poppy. She's got a lot of muscle density, which is really good. So it's nice to see that. And then we've got Jessica Wilson on the end, and then we have got Petra next to Jessica Wilson in the green, which is from the UK. So big up UK. And a lot of these ladies look fantastic. So I think I'm excited to kind of see more, because I didn't really watch the full comparison of everyone. So I'm excited to kind of see how everyone looks in the callouts and stuff like that. So now we're going to move on to routines, and I'll show you a few of my favorite routines that I saw within this show. So firstly, we got Maria. She's the first one on the entire list, and I don't actually know when she won her pro card, but I know she's from Fit Body Fusion, and she was one of the girls that a lot of people were kind of like, she'll be in the top call out, she'll be in the first call out, and I can definitely see why. Another red and dark haired girl, I say it's funny, but obviously it's nice to see that girls are finding their style, you know what I mean, like finding the right thing for them. I love her muscle mass. I think she's got such great density in her lower body. Like, her glutes are popping, so like that back shot is absolutely incredible. And I really like how you can see a lot of detail in her quads and stuff like that in her front shot. I do think that her posing just needs a little bit more work, a little bit more confidence, all that type of thing. But again, she performs really nice and well. I like the fact that she did the walk to the back of the stage. I don't know why. I always find it really intriguing and quite nice in a way that people don't always do walks to the back. They don't always make their routine really long. So, because a lot of people always, we always say we don't want to overdo it with the routines or anything like that, but you do want to show off your shape, but not too much. There's such a fine line when it comes to pro routines. You want to try and make sure that you're not showing off too much for the judges to see. Obviously, almost like leaving them wanting more, but then also showing off that little bit of your personality versus the other girls. Next, we've got Brittany from Australia, and I've seen Brittany compete quite a few times actually. I think she's competed a lot, I know that. And again, I can see she's definitely improved muscle mass wise. I guess, and again, someone that needed, I think, a little bit more muscle mass for being competitive. Again, this is what I can see from online. I've never seen her compete in person and stuff, but I definitely think she's achieved that since her last showing, which is good to see. And I know her posing is definitely improved as well. You can see like her flow looks really nice and natural. Like, I think that's one thing a lot of people always struggle with, is making all these flows, all these transitions, these nice like movements look natural. So I definitely think she looks a lot more natural than her last showing, which is really good to see. And yeah, that's what you want to try and do. You want to always try and be improving yourself from each show, and that's the main thing. Next up, we've got Shanice from Canada. She literally just competed, I think, the week before, not at Pittsburgh, but a different show. And she got 6th place, which is really good. I think she said on her story that she needed to come in a little bit tighter for this show, and you can see she definitely has. I like the blue suit. I think last year she did red, and I think the blue, especially from her skin complexion being a darker skinned girl, I think it pops on her so well. So I do feel like sometimes with obviously girls that are darker skin, they can wear kind of, the red tone colors, but sometimes it won't pop as well as like the blues, the greens, purples even sometimes. So I think sometimes it's always good to just make sure that you try different types of colors to see what looks best on you, and don't be afraid to try different colors and stuff, but not too over the top. But no, I think her posing's improved massively. She looks a lot more confident, like I said, with other people and stuff as well. So that's a really good win for her. And then we've got Amy. We've got the winner of this show, the winner of Pittsburgh Pro, the winner of Wasatch Pro, and I can see why. Like, I can really see why. Like, my opinions on Amy, I love her shape because she holds her muscles so well. Like, the density that she has, I think, is absolutely incredible, and I love it from being, someone who wants to show off a little bit more muscle in this division and stuff like that. I really like it, I really do. So I think she's definitely massively improved since the Olympia. I mean, everyone's been, going crazy about her, her posing, her elegance and all that type of thing on stage, and it's second to none. Like, she just shows off that elegance really nicely, and I think that's what makes her win as well. Like, she just shows off her shape very well. Very minimal movements, nothing too like fancy. It's literally just step in the pose, step in the transition, It doesn't need to be over the top. So I think that's very good for her. And then we've got Ivana. Ivana is already, Amy is already qualified for the Olympia, so is Ivana. And I think Ivana is such such a dark horse in a way, because she's so like compact. She's really small, but she has so much bubbly muscle to her. So it's really, really nice to see. I do think one thing she could probably improve on is just posing wise, just a little bit more. You know how Amy was kind of going straight into the positions, going straight away. I do feel like she could probably have a little bit more of that sharpness where it's like boom, boom, it's straight away, straight to the point almost. But I think that doesn't massively take away from her shape, you know? I think she still performs very, very well. She has a lot of elegance to kind of her routine and stuff. And she's another one, she doesn't walk to the back of the stage, she kind of does her thing at the front, which is where the judges can see you best. And then gets off stage and kind of is done, you know? So I do think that's one thing she can just improve on, is just making smaller transitions, less kind of movement, if that makes sense. Okay, then we've got Valia. And have you realized that the last like 3-4 girls have literally been in red? So I feel like I love it. And I love, again, I'm a big fan of Valeria, I think that's it, because she has, again, a lot of lovely muscle, like round, bubbly muscle. I know some people will say like, you know, having too much muscle on bikini can be too much, all that sort of thing. I do like the way that the bikini is going, because I love the density, I love the muscle mass. I think it's beautiful, it really is nice. There just is a fine line. You just need to make sure that you don't overpass that line. But she's another one, not walking to the back of the stage, because again, she wants to do her thing at the front, which I think is becoming more, oh, actually, oh yeah, she is. Okay, so that was like a little overextended kind of sign-off way, but she's another one to walk to the back of the stage, doing a thing at the front, showing the judges exactly what she has from the beginning. And then we have Ellie. So Ellie is another Olympian. I don't think she's qualified for the Olympia just yet, so I think she's still got to do a few more shows to obviously get that qualification, but she's been around for a while. I remember watching her back in the day, like at least 4 years ago, and being like, she's incredible, you know? She's been around for a while, and I think she's definitely improved. I think the main thing she's always been told is that she's a little bit too lean. So she'd always come in very, very lean in her back half. She's definitely softened up. When I say softened up, she just looks like rounder. There's less striations, there's less veins and all that sort of thing from what I can see. So I think she's definitely improved that massively, and she's kind of rewarded for that in this show, which is good to see. She's another one, she has very nice, smooth, elegant transitions, nothing too over the top, because again, we don't want to be too over the top for no reason, you know? So I think this is good. And again, another red bikini, dark hair. I feel like we'll see a lot of people doing this look, and I like it. There's always some sort of look that everyone kind of, you know, duplicates sometimes in these shows, but I think it's good. Okay, then we've got Raywana. Very big fan of her. First things first, she wore her hair curly, and I literally messaged her today, and she said that her feedback was, you know, they don't want her to do her straight hair again. And she was the same as me, where I had a comment once where a judge called my hair messy. She kind of had the same experience where it didn't show off her shape as well when she had her hair curly, and she never wore it curly since. Now she kind of pulled the trigger and was like, yeah, I need to wear my hair curly now, because I feel like wearing your natural curls definitely brings out a different confidence in you. So, or your natural hair just in general. So ladies, definitely try and like wear your hair the way it needs to. But no, her routine, very nice. Again, another one that didn't walk to the back of the stage. I don't know if they've been told to not walk to the back of the stage, because not a lot of people are. There's a few that are, but not many. So I don't know if that's kind of, you know, the reasoning behind that. This lady here, I like her little entrance, and actually she's probably one of the first ones I've seen perform that probably the best, because that little spin you just saw, I feel like a lot of people have done that spin, and it's kind of thrown them off their posing game. So it's thrown them off the way that they move. And you know, it's very easy to say, you know, don't do too many big transitions, because if you do mess up, it will stay kind of in your head, all that sort of thing. But I do like the way that she presented herself there. It was very simple, twist around, walk straight forwards, that was it. It wasn't anything else to it, it was just nice and smooth. And again, she's going in and out of her transitions very nicely. You know, a few little hiccups here and there, but nothing too major. Okay, so now we've got Alice. So she is another one that last year she got top 5 quite a few times, and she was actually a previous posing client of mine, and she's done very, very well since, and I'm really, really proud of her. She's another one wearing her hair curly. She wore her hair straight last year, and I told her to go curly, and she really embraced it. I do really like her shape. I just still think she just needs a little bit more muscle mass on her. That was her feedback last year, and I still think she needs just a little bit more to kind of show off a little bit more for what the girls are kind of going for this year. I really can't pronounce this woman's name, but I know she's from Korea, I think. Yeah, she's from Korea. So, but she looks absolutely like the muscle on her lower body, I think is incredible. I do think potentially it might be a little bit overpowering in her front shot, maybe in her back shot as well. But she, like, you can see she's glazed really nicely, which I do think, like, there's a difference between over glazing and obviously not glazing enough. And I think she's perfectly glazed because you can really see like how, like, the muscle, like the lines, it just looks very like picturesque almost, if that makes sense. So I like the way that it's glazed. I do think she's just a little bit overpowering in her lower body, but again, really nice presenting herself very, very well, and all that type of thing. Okay, now we've got this this lady here, Neji Thompson, I want to say. She did, if I'm not mistaken, the Arnolds this year, and it was her pro debut, which is absolutely crazy. Like, her pro debut was the Arnolds, and I think she came in incredible, like incredible shape. The way that she looked, absolutely amazing. I think she's definitely softened up now. She looked a little bit lean last time when she stepped on stage at the Arnolds, in my opinion, but she's definitely kind of, you know, softened up a tiny little bit more so it's not so overpowering. But again, she's another one, didn't walk to the back of the stage. I like the pink on her. I like the pink on her, you know, darker complexion and stuff. I think it looks very, very nice. And we've got finally our pocket rocket, Jessica Wilson. I adore this woman so much. Like, she's such a breath of fresh air. She is a Masters competitor. She actually just got invited to the Masters Olympia, so massive congrats to Jess for doing that. She has one, again, that's been around for a while, and she just keeps getting better and better each time. I do think the only thing holding her back is just her back pose. Like, her front shot, I generally think is one of the best out there, but I just think her back pose, she just needs a little bit more kind of almost like upper glute, like at the top. And then I think once she's got that, she'll be, you know, unstoppable, if I'm honest. So it's exciting to kind of see how she's climbing. She did the Pittsburgh last week, I think it got 6th place. And I think she got top 6 again this time round. So I think it's, again, she's moving up, she's getting better, she's getting her name out there. Okay, so now we're gonna be going into the first call out. So, first call outs, we had Ellie, we had Maria, we had Shanice, Amy, Ivana, Raywana, and Jessica Wilson. So again, very, very strong lineup. I'm pretty sure all of these girls are Olympians apart from Maria, on second in on the right. So I do think this is, again, it's a very strong lineup. Most of them are in red or like a slightly lighter kind of complexioned bikini, apart from Shanice. But I think this is a very strong lineup. I think I posted a screenshot of, you know, top 4, and I kind of, when I looked at this kind of top call out, I was like, it could generally go to anyone in a way, because they all have, you know, what they're looking for. They all have, you know, the bubbly muscle, they all have the conditioning. It all just depends on what everyone looks like from the beginning or next to each other, you know? So we've got all the red girls in the middle. So let's have a look and see how the back shot looks. So I personally think, Amy's back shot was, I think, the standout one, if I'm honest. I really liked Amy's back shot. She holds a lot of dense muscle here, and you can see it. And also a lot of quad shape as well, but not too much, I personally think. I don't think she's holding it. From what I can see, it doesn't look like she has too much quad shape or anything like that in here. I do think Raywana, you know, could probably have a little bit more quad shape compared to Amy, but I think overall she's very, very balanced. So I don't think if she was to get any more, it'd be too overpowering in a way. So I think all these ladies look absolutely incredible though. Again, when it comes to first call outs, it's always, you know, cutting hairs, you know, the smallest little bit of hair placement, smallest things that the judges are looking for to be out of place, and that's literally it. So again, the walk to the back of the stage, very, very nicely, smoothly done. A few of them kind of did a little bit more movement than I would say is needed, but I think overall, very, very good. Good, and walk into the front, very nice. Good. I actually don't think there was much movement in the first call out, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think as well, if they know who they want and it's kind of obvious, then they kind of won't make much. Oh, there you go, movement. So Maria got moved out, and then Shanice got moved in. And then I'll probably do one more walk to the back and turn around to the back most likely, yeah. I love how the 4 girls in the middle, they all have the same side front pose as well. So it was like, it's crazy, they literally looked all identical when they were transitioning and at the same speed, because you know, they all had the same time. But I do think it's very good because it also tells you that, you know, they're not rushing too much. They all have that kind of same tempo in their head when they're doing these transitions. They're not kind of going into it really, really quickly, going nice and slow, nice and smoothly, so they don't look too rushed. They want to try and make sure that they're taking their time with their transitions, but obviously not too much. Okay, so second call up, we've got RYDERWEAR. I think if I'm pronouncing that correctly, from Korea, in the middle. This is where the live stream went a little bit weird, so I do apologize about it. Went like a little bit like fuzzy. And then we've got Valeria on the right-hand side, and then we've got Alice on the left-hand side on the outside. So again, these girls, really nice, good amount of dense muscle, but you can see kind of the differences and a lot of different shapes in the second call out, which I do think is probably what kind of, I guess, differentiates them from the first call out in a way, if that makes sense. So I would say the main thing that I can see in the second call out from the first call out is just a little bit more condition, more muscle density, and just the way that they flow with posing and stuff like that. Okay, so this is where the live stream went a little bit weird, but they started to actually zoom in, and the zoom in, like you can see on here, looks really, really nice and clear. So I think definitely like the zoom in looked better, but you obviously can't always get all the girls in the zoom in. So, but this, I really liked the, when people were zooming in. And then we've got the third and final call out. There's a few ladies I know in here. So we've got, from the left-hand side in, we've got Petra from the UK, and then we've got Brittany in the middle, then we've got Marnie from the UK as well. And then those are the only names that I know. So this is the last and final call out. So I think obviously, like I said, the difference between kind of first, second, third just comes down to conditioning, comes down to presentation, comes down to muscle mass, muscle density, and all that type of thing. So I think a lot of these ladies, again, just lack a little bit of that. It's very, like I said, it's very small things that can make a very big difference from going from third call-outs to second call-outs and all that type of thing. So it's just about making sure that you can make those improvements every single time you get on stage. And I think that's very important takeaways. Even if you get, you know, the final call out, the last call out, or whatever, don't be disheartened from that at all. You go back to the judges, ask what you need to be improved on or what you need to do to improve, and then you can kind of just go from there and make sure that you're making those improvements. I think that's the main thing, especially with such a big show like this, with a lot of Olympians in it and all that sort of thing. You want to try and make sure that you're getting as much feedback as possible, you know? I think there's a lot of different glute sizes here, a lot of different conditioning. You can just see the ladies here just aren't as conditioned as the first call-outs, for example, and muscle mass is just a little bit lacking. Nothing massive though. So it's a case of taking an off season, making sure that you can make those improvements, and then just kind of going from there. Okay, so now they're doing, I think it was like this was top 8. So obviously this is from 8 through to 5th. So this was obviously Jessica, the lady in blue and blonde. I'm not sure what her name is, can't remember. And then we've got Maria, and then we've got Shanice. So these ladies were the ones that were, like I said, 8th through 5th, and then they'll go from 4th to first place in the second after this. So I think Maria is definitely one to watch out for. I think she'll definitely, you know, turn a few heads this year because she's got a very good shape. She just needs a little bit more experience on stage and stuff like that. Same with Shanice, she did the Olympia last year. I think she just needs a little bit more time, doing more pro shows, doing more experience, and I think she'll get there, no doubt about it. So it's exciting to kind of see. And then we've got the quadruplets? Is that how you say it? The quadruplets. Can you see this posing? The stamina of the posing was incredible. Sorry, I was taking screenshots whilst I was recording this, but the stamina of the posing, very, very good. And that's what you want it to be. You want to try and make sure that you're almost not too fast, not too slow, almost going the same pace as everyone else, but obviously without looking at everyone else in a way, if that makes sense. So I do feel like that's, even there, they all turn around the same, they're all looking forwards the exact same. You want to try and use, it's almost like using your peripheral vision to kind of see what the ladies are kind of doing next to you in a way that you know you're not going too fast, you know you're not going too slow. You kind of take your time with it in a way that you're not, you're making sure that the judges are looking at you as much as you can. So that was a very, very good show. Like I was very, very impressed with that show, and it got me really, really excited to just get up there straight away, if I'm honest. So I'm very excited to kind of see how these ladies do. Obviously, massive congrats to Amy. She won the show, she won the Pittsburgh before, and honestly, there was this cutest photo of her and her daughter on stage, and it was just the best thing ever. So massive, massive well done to her. Massive well done to anyone that stepped on stage for this show and just any shows that they've done previously in general. Really big props. Hope this video helped you. Please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel because it really helps support my channel. If you are a pro, amateur, bikini or wellness competitor and you are looking for posing, please head to the link in the description box below and head to theposingportal.com. We've got a lot of very, very good, useful information on that site, and we can help you pose to your best abilities. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon.